This is the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
I'm not making any money talking these days. Good Christ. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Still am. I guess I am a decent guy because I'm a fucking jerk, and I'm not a jerk. Apparently, I'm a dick. I'm not an awful guy, but I've done so much ridiculous stuff. I'm an awful guy. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. How are you? A lot of false starts today, folks. A lot of Lily pointing at me. Apparently, she thinks that she's Alan Freed for some reason, and she just gets to, set up. Although Alan Freed, he wasn't recording anybody, was he? He was a DJ. Who's he pointing at? His records? That's the stupidest thing I've ever said. And what if Alan Freed did that? No wonder he lost all his money and they locked him up. He's a madman. Freed would start a record, then he'd point at it. Was he like, and now the crystals, and he'd point at the record table, and the turntable would spin, and there they are. He's crazy. That's what it is. He went fucking bananas. That's what happened to Freed. You guys know who Ellen Freed is, right? Because again, you're all 90. I'm stupid. Heard some Daz Band on the way over. Oh, dude, how great is the Daz Band, folks? Again, I've covered them in previous episodes, but I want to see you whip it, folks. I do. I want to see you whip it. I'm sure to treat you right. Right? You've been with me every week. I'm sure to treat you right. Give me just a minute of your time tonight. Seriously. What am I, Steve Allen? Yes, I am. I'm Steve Allen. Apparently, I'm Steve Allen, and I'm Steve Allen Freed. That's who I am, folks. I'm Steve Allen Freed. Any reference from 1960, that's who's going to get brought out today. All right. It's good that you're here. Thank you for coming. I'm a little off. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. Here's what I found out today, folks. Guess what? I've been sent to collections. Yeah. By who, you might ask? Well, I figured you would ask that. And by the way, if I was truly sent to collections for like a bill I didn't pay, do you think I'd bring it up to you folks? No, I never would. So please rest assured, this is not my fault. I will tell you that. If my financial house of cards had completely fallen in, the last thing I'm going to do is tell you people about it. But I will tell you that I have been sent to collections by, brace for it, folks, Thrifty Car Rental. That's right. Thrifty Car Rental has decided that I owe them money, and they've involved a collections agency now. I cannot tell you how upset I am, folks. I rented a car in 2007 that was stolen, and I spent 3 days on the phone, and then I wound up yelling at Thrifty a month later, and then 3 months later got called again. Basically, we've been back and forth now over the course of about 17 months. And suffice it to say, I finally get a letter that I'm in collections. And here's the weird thing about Thrifty. Like, they've called me and they're like, dude, you owe us $8,000. And I'm like, nah, I don't fucking think so. And then they call me up, they're like, dude, you owe us $6,000. And I'm like, seriously, that doesn't make any sense at all. Now I get a letter from collections, dude, you owe us $3,700. So I guess if I keep ignoring it, it's going to keep going down. But now that there's a collections agency involved, and again, you know who the most unlucky people in the world are? The people who pick up a ringing phone that I'm on the end of when one of these situations hits the fan. Because I am just armed with this litany of facts and numbers. So I call up the Thrifty, this woman, a very nice woman at the collections agency, which, believe me, is an oxymoron. And another thing, too, is once you're in collections, I think if it's ever happened to you folks, they don't give a fuck about your story. They don't. They want the money. That's it. You can call up with any sobby bullshit, any crybaby this, any, oh my God, I can't believe how sick my baby is. They don't give a fuck. Pay me. And rightfully so. That's their job. They're a collections agency. But again, there's nothing more frustrating than when you're the person who has a legitimate beef or a legitimate answer or a legitimate story, and you're trying to explain it to the collections agency, and there's like, yeah, I don't fucking think so. Terrible. So instead, I get this chick on the phone at the collections agency, and I just hit her with a fucking tornado of facts. I tell her, I go, look, I hope you have a pen and then a backup pen. You're going to need a lot of ink. So I give her the phone number of, to refresh your memory, folks, I rented a car. I went to dinner at a very nice restaurant in Chicago, and the van, it was a Chrysler Pacifica I'd rented because my friends were all going to dinner, so I wanted all of us to go together. And we did. And then we all went home together in a rented fucking limo because the car was stolen from the valet lot. The restaurant was like, well, we're not responsible. It's the valet company's deal. I called and made a police report with Chicago police. And then I knew my vacation was over because the next 3 days would be spent making phone calls, which they were. I had to call the valet company in Chicago. I had to call the valet company's lawyer in Chicago. I was referred to the valet company's lawyer in Dallas. I was referred to a second lawyer in Dallas at the same office. I had to call Thrifty and deal with them. It turned into a fucking nightmare. But the point is I had a ton of phone numbers, and everything seemed to be straightened out because the lawyers in Dallas were like, dude, we will take care of this. Sorry, we're done. We'll do this. I said, great. A month later, Thrifty contacted me very aggressively looking for like $7,000 or $8,000 and screaming, and I had a screaming match with them, and I explained, and then again, I gave them the phone numbers of everybody involved. I gave them the litany. I mean, again, I have these yellowing scraps of paper. They look like a treasure map that Nicolas Cage found in the fucking White House because it just, literally, I have to blow the dust up. Hold on, here's the name of the people at the lawyers in Dallas. I mean, it's just insane that I have to fucking drop this much knowledge in everybody, but I have to. So, that happens with Thrifty. 6 months later, I get a bill from Thrifty in the mail for like $7,000. I have to call again, a new person, new fucking numbers, new this, new that. Just recently, like 6 months ago, again, Thrifty contacts me again with a bill. I call them. So I get I get this lady on the phone from the collections agency. I go, look, brace yourself. I give her every single number. I go, look, I even told her what I just told you. I go, look, I understand your collection agency. You don't give a fuck about the story. I didn't say that to her, but I said, look, I understand you don't care about my story, but rest assured, it's true. And these are the numbers, and here you go. And this is an exact quote from her. She said, okay, well, I love puzzles, so I'm really looking forward to getting to the bottom of this. So all of a sudden, I figure, well, great, now I have an 8-year-old girl on my side. That's fantastic. I love puzzles? All right, I mean, that's cool. I mean, if that's what you got to do to make your days at the collection agency seem exciting... and I don't doubt it because I worked in accounts receivable for a while, and there's nothing worse than calling people and going, hey, where's our money? It's fucking boring as shit. So if you got to turn it into a CSI episode, by all means, go ahead. I picture her and she's there, dusting for fingerprints on people's bills. I mean, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but great, good for you. As long as you get to the bottom of this and you fucking make my puzzle work and you attach it properly, I don't care. You could look at it. I don't care if you say it's a fucking Ferris wheel. Just solve it. So I dumped my Rubik's Cube in her fucking lap. So she's going to take care of it. This is about a month ago. So I actually say to her, do you need me to call you, or will you call me once you get everything straightened out? Because, again, it's a collection agency. You don't fuck around with them. I mean, because I don't need my credit dinged because of this is not my fault. So she's like, you know what? Do me a favor. Just hang tight. I'll figure it out, and I'll call you. And she's like... I said, bye. So I wait. And I know nothing good's going to happen. I realize it. I know it's not. But I wait for her to call me. Finally, she calls me last week. And she leaves a message on my answering machine. And this is her answering machine. Hey, Mr. Schmidt, we haven't talked in a while. Last time we spoke, I believe you were going to call me back and give me a plan on how you were going to make payments on this. So go ahead and give me a call and let me know exactly what you've thought, what you've come up with. Whoa! What? Sounds like somebody lost my puzzle. Because that's not at all what we fucking talked about. We talked about you, sticking your tongue out of the corner of your mouth and furrowing your brow and getting to work on putting together this fantastic puzzle. You were going to go ahead and you were going to pull all the barrel of monkeys out and they were going to be linked. You were going to pull every rod out of Kerplunk and the marbles weren't going to drop. You were going to spin the spinner and call the shots, and Twister was going to tie you up in a knot. You were going to figure everything out for me. But no, apparently, folks, when I let her go, she put everything in a drawer and went, this guy will pay me in a month, and then it called me back to say so. Are you fucking kidding me? So I literally, cartoon steam blew out of my fucking ears. And it made like a Popeye noise, like, and I call her up. And I go, look, you just called and left a message saying that I was going to call you with payments. That is absolutely not what we discussed. She's like, well, what do you mean? And I go, look, I gave you numbers in Chicago and Dallas. And she goes, you know what? I called that number and there was nobody there. I go, you called what number? She goes, I called the number in Chicago. I said, I told you there was a chain of events. Chicago referred me to Dallas. You got to talk to these people in Dallas. She goes, well, I called Chicago and the woman you named isn't there. I go, she's in Dallas. I go, get a pen. Write this down right now. And I made her for 10 minutes read back to me everything that I read to her. Oh. I said, listen, here's Chicago. These are these guys. It's PTI. That's the valet company. I mean, we went through everything. I gave her the number of the people in Dallas. I even gave her, because again, folks, I took copious notes. I gave her the name of the secretary in Dallas that I spoke with that transferred me to and from everybody. I had her name. I had their names. I had numbers. I had dudes' numbers. I have like 9 different thrifty numbers, people I talked with there. I go, listen, you told me you'd get to the bottom of this. I go, you call me in a month and tell me I just got to pay you? I go, I understand this. Again, that's what a collection agency does. You just want the money. You don't care about the story. But then don't even fucking jerk me off with your bullshit about you got to solve this puzzle. Granted, I said it in a much nicer way than this, but still. You don't drop that in my fucking lap. It's retarded. And so she's like, all right, well, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'll get to the bottom of this. Yes, I'm sure you will, Brownie Troop number 11. I'm sure now you can't wait to earn your fucking puzzle badge, you hump. You hoop. That's right. I said it. I called her a hoop. A lot of people wrote they think hoop should catch on. And by a lot of people, I mean probably 10. But still. And people actually, you know what? I like subtle people who didn't even, they just put it in. Take that, you hoop. Like they called me a hoop. I like it. All right. So this chick's a hoop. We can be honest with that, right? And I let her go. And then that time when I hang up the phone, I realize this is probably not going to end well for me. Because, again, they don't care. So I called my insurance company. I called Geico. And I get a lizard on the phone. He's there. He's talking to me, and he transfers me to a caveman. Seriously, how many fucking commercial campaigns could they possibly have? My friend Danielle used to do a bit about it. She's a comic here. Well, Jimmy Pardo's wife, Danielle. Some of you may know her, some of you may not, but she's very funny. And she used to do in her stand-up. She couldn't understand why they had how many demographics do they need to cover with their fucking ad campaigns? And it's hysterical because it's absolutely true. So I called them, and I will tell you, they've been my insurance company for over 10 years, and I have never had a problem. I've been in a few accidents. Everything's been squared away. Everything. Why do you laugh?
That's the fucking commercial right there.
What? I've been in a few accidents?
I've been with Geico for 10 years, and I've never had a problem.
Listen, I've been in a few accidents. All right, so I basically called them to say, look, I need to know if I'm covered here, and I explained to them everything, and they go, well, yeah, you're covered. Yeah, because that was the whole point. The reason this all exploded is because I didn't take insurance through Thrifty, okay? Because I didn't want to pay, because I had the car for like 2 weeks, and it would have been another like $130 or something, and I didn't feel like paying that because I knew I was covered by Geico. Well, that's true, except, there's a deductible that you got to pay and all that. So she says, you're covered. You have comprehensive. Obviously, you're covered. You got a deductible that you got to pay. But are you filing a claim now? And I said, no. Let's all hope that the puzzle master can figure things out over at the collection agency and she can square it away. I don't want to turn you guys loose on this because, again, even the very hint of filing a claim, your rates are going to go up. So I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it. So I said, just wait. I need to hear from her. And 2 days later, sure enough, this woman called. And I guess to her credit, she did the due diligence. She called all the numbers and found out that the valet company is out of business. And they've disappeared, and no one knows anything about them. The lawyers in Dallas have no idea what happened to them, and the lawyers in Chicago don't know about this valet company. Nobody knows anything except that I apparently am on the hook for $3,700. Wow. So, which makes sense. These guys just went into a stall, you know what I mean, for however long, and then disappeared. And they just fucking I get caught up in the fucking in the updraft. So. Geico's going to cover me, I guess. I was waiting to hear from them today, but they didn't call me yet. And then I'm going to turn them loose on the collection agency and hopefully get the shit squared away. But I will tell you, when I told this story last year on the podcast, when the car was stolen, I was at Table 52, which is Chef Art Smith, who is Oprah's personal chef, and it's his restaurant, and it was a restaurant named the best restaurant in Chicago. And the bill that I paid. The dinner bill was like $645 or something ridiculous. It was just this is back when I had money, folks, and I didn't mind spending it. So I enjoy the fact now that meal just became a $1,200 meal because I have to pay my $500 deductible. And it's funny because part of me, like I said to Karen the other night, we were watching Top Chef Masters, and Chef Art Smith is on Top Chef Masters. He's a contestant, and in my head I went, you know what? This guy's on TV a lot. He's on Oprah. He's on there. I wonder if I could get some satisfaction by writing him or contacting him and seeing if they would pay the deductible, because granted, it wasn't their fault because it's the valet company, but still, I was in their restaurant. I paid an exorbitant amount for a meal, which was great and was worth it. It's not like I just went in and said, hey, I'll give you guys $600 for a meal. I mean, that was the prices that were set. I hate to sound like I did them a favor. I didn't. They served me food for that amount of money. But I wonder if I could contact them because they were very friendly, except for when it came time to send us home. They were like, hey, we'll get you guys a cab. Really? You'll get the 8 adults a cab to go back to Naperville, which is fucking 45 miles away? Okay. Oh, and you'll throw in 2 desserts for the 8 of us? That's fantastic. Thanks. Do you have 8 forks? You don't? All right, we'll share a fork as we're all jammed into cabs like fucking immigrants. What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously, are you sending us back to our homes, or are you smuggling us across the border into Texas? You're going to cram us all into one fucking cab and then give us 2 desserts? Seriously, it's okay. I was born in this country. I don't need to be smuggled across the Rio Grande. Jesus, fuck. So I'm thinking if I call their general manager and maybe if I can get them involved somehow and explain my plight, that might work. And I think we all know it won't. But still, it's not really something that I shouldn't try. What the hell? What do I have to lose? I mean, it's not like Art Smith and I are buddies anymore. We've had a falling out after I paid, $650 for hard-boiled eggs at his fucking restaurant. And not even a whole half a hard-boiled egg. That was the amuse-bouche, baby. They brought it to the table. They're like, here's some hard-boiled egg for you. Deviled egg, I should say. All right. But yeah, so now I'm in collections and trying to figure that out. Now I've got Geico involved and my rates are going to go up. This is terrible, folks. Oh.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network. And later, the Jerk-Off Journals.
Hey, you on the couch.
What?
Did you know you can roll down a hill in a tractor tire with Jamiroquai?
Why are you in my house?
Music! The 40-Year-Old Boy Travel Agency has been hooking up bands and their fans for excursions since 2009.
Why is your voice like that?
You can go zip-lining the Grand Canyon with the Spin Doctors, or a motorcade through Dallas with the Dead Kennedys.
Why is my voice like that?
How about Ultimate Frisbee with Scritty Politti, or miniature golf with Lisa and the Cult Jam?
Turn off that music.
Music! How about Collie stick fighting with Joe Jackson, or a cattle drive with Kaja Gugu? The 40-Year-Old Boy Travel Agency. Because old bands never die, they just go on vacation.
Kaja Gugu.
And I say it's terrible, and yet Lily laughs her ass off. That's great. That's good. As I bring her a Dr. Pepper, the first thing she's had to drink all week, but yet she still can laugh right in my face when the shit hits the fan. Great. I'm bad at paperwork. And the thing is, that's all I'm about now these days is paperwork. Filling this out, filling that. Dude, I had to become. Here's the thing. I sell year 1 download sets, and I sell Skull Pie T-shirts, and who knows what else in the future. But in order to do that, my accountant was like, dude, you got to become a business. Like, you got to become an entity. You got to become a dude, like a guy. What does that mean? He didn't say any of those things. What if he did? You got to become a dude, a guy, because apparently I have the worst accountant in the world. The Big Lebowski's my accountant. That's who it is. It's which is fitting because I've entered a world of pain. So he's like, he's telling me what I got to do. So I had to become a business. I had to become folks, I'm not just, Mike Schmidt, the host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. I'm the CEO of Throat Punch Media. So I hope you can appreciate that. And I have been for a while now, except now I just keep thinking to myself, what a fucking waste of time and money it was to become a business. Because, first of all, I've sold what I've sold, but he was like, you got to do it for liability reasons. And I can't even imagine what my liability would be on T-shirts and air, because that's what I sell. Literally, the year 1 download set is air. I mean, I guess someone could sue me if they downloaded it and it crashed their computer. Could they do that? I don't fucking know. All I know is it made no sense to me that I would have to, because literally the download sets, that's nothing. That's words in air. That's what I've sold. And yet I have to have some sort of liability. Like, what if my words came alive like in the movie Shocker and then they invaded your ears and blew out your eardrums? Is that what it is? If you had the volume too loud, or if some convict with a limp became a ghost and went through my computer circuits and came to your house for the download? I don't fucking know. What am I liable for? It's a goddamn download. And then a T-shirt is someone. It makes me think of the old shows where on old Saturday Night Live when Dan Aykroyd played a guy named Erwin Mainway, and he would sell like Johnny Bag of Glass or all these different fucking costumes, and she would say these aren't these are dangerous. He'd say, what? Any costume's dangerous. Watch this. Oh, look, it's a fancy shirt. Oh, and then he jams the shirt in his mouth to show that you can choke on a shirt. Folks, if you choke on my shirt, you deserve to fucking choke on my shirt. Just because that piece of pie on the front looks delicious doesn't mean you got to jam it into your fucking maw, okay? Don't choke on my shirt. Or I picture something out of Final Destination where like my shirt gets caught in some axle of a truck and snaps somebody's fucking neck. I don't know. What could I be sued for? All I know is it cost me upwards of fucking, $800 to become a business overall. And at the end of the year, I got to pay taxes on being a business. He's like, dude, you got to keep these, amazingly intricate fucking details about what you spend money on. And I've always done that because I'm a comic. You got to save your receipts and you got to pay anything. But, at this time, I guess I got to really keep these amazing. He's like, you got to get quick in. You got to do this. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck, whatever I got to do. So. But I'll tell you, being the CEO of Throat Punch Media is not what it was cracked up to be, folks. I got to tell you, because here's the thing. Word gets out that you're a business, and every fucking junk mailing asshole in the world sends you stuff to try to get you to sign up for their services. Some guy, like, people want to make like a stamp, or, I understand they want to send me stationery and they want to do all that kind of, whatever the fuck, that's fine. And I got to tell you, it's pretty funny to get stuff addressed to Throat Punch Media. That's just I picture them having to type it out and going, what the hell is this? Which is great, but dudes, when I fucking think about all of the fucking paperwork, here's the thing too. There's like scammers who try to get over on you because they figure that first of all, they figure anybody with the name of Throat Punch Media is ready to be had at any time, and that's true. But they also send me these notes, and they look very official. They're from like the Franchise Business Board, like all these vague business type words that you go, oh, okay, I guess this is legitimate. And there's like a picture of an eagle on the envelope. Well, I'm in. You've got me. If there's an eagle on the envelope, I know that I need to send you some money for something. Let's open up and see just how much. So I open it up, and it's all these things. These people are like, when you become a business, you need to file minutes with the state, and we are happy to do that for you for the low fee of $248. And you're reading it, and I'm like, fuck. But it doesn't say we're happy to do it. It says we provide that service. You need to do this or else you're going to... They make it look like it's a bill from the government until you get to there's literally one sentence, and it says, this is not a bill, nor does the government endorse this service in any way. But it's tiny, and it's like near the bottom of the page, because most people probably just get those in the email or in the mail and go, oh, fuck, I got to pay this bill, and fire it off. And I was telling Lily, I said 1 out of every 100 people pay. She goes, dude, 1 out of 1,000 pay. And I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably right, because that's just some idiot folding pages and stuffing them into an envelope and mailing it to people, looking to steal cash. It's like when I was a kid, I always wanted to do, I swear to God, I had this idea, and it's not an original idea by any means, but when I thought of it, I thought it was a fucking original idea. I wanted to put in the back of the Inquirer, they had like classified ads, and I wanted to put an ad, learn how to make money through the mail, send $5 in self-addressed stamped envelope to this address. And then I was going to just handwrite a note that said, place an ad that says, make money through the mail, put $5 in an envelope and send it to this address. And I was going to mail that back to them in their envelope. And I thought I'm like, dude, I am going to make $1 billion being a junk mail king. And then something happened, like a baseball game came on, or I made a sandwich. I don't fucking know. Something happened, but it deterred me from ripping off the public. Until now, when I apparently fleece you with my dangerous shirts and evil downloads that can somehow kill you and force me to hide behind the corporate shell that I've created in Throat Punch Media. And my offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands, folks, are bursting with cash. All right, so I'm trying to avoid the pitfalls of every fake bill that I get, and I get a ton of them. That was the fakest laugh you've ever done on this show. Literally, what you just did was the fakest laugh you've ever done in the history of the show. You actually made like a jaunty face. You were like, ha, 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 ha. Like it was this weird, like you might as well have had like a handlebar mustache and twirled it and tipped a top hat to me. That was the most unbelievable fucking laugh ever. But that's fine. No, I enjoyed laughing because, I mean, it's cool. It adds, for me, it makes me happy to do the show, and it makes me do the show the way I want to do it. But that one you just did, come on, folks, rewind it. Go listen. Go back and listen to that laugh. It was the most retarded. I wasn't even looking at her. All I knew was out of the corner, out of the corner of my ear, really, I just heard like, nah, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, seriously? I got to get that fucking, what are you, in a frat? What are you, Greg Marmalade? Come on, give me a fucking break. You're going to laugh at me? Jesus, God. I don't blame you. Seriously. Believe me, the audience swore that off in episode 11. They were like, we're never laughing at this show again. See? Look at you again with the fakeness. All right, so that might be real. But it's seriously, the one like a minute ago, Jesus. Oh, that was, again, it was jaunty. Anything jaunty is fake. And that's the name of the show this week. Anything jaunty is fake. All right, so what else can I share with you folks? I'm dodging bills. It's this blizzard of paperwork. What else can I? Hey, here, I'll tell you this, folks. Hey, happy birthday to me. How about that? 42 years old today as I record this show. That's funny. I didn't. I was going to mention it earlier, but then I didn't. But I'm the 42-year-old boy now. So that will be the name of the show, probably the 42-year-old boy. But yeah, happy birthday. I'm very excited. And it's funny because I wanted to get a cake. I think you remember the saga of last year where I wanted a cake from my wife. I wanted a peanut butter and jelly cake, folks. That's all I wanted. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I wanted a peanut butter and jelly cake. That was it. That was all I asked for. And last year, my wife did not get it. Even though she had all the time in the world, she didn't get it. So this year, I dropped casual hints about that cake. And she was like, I got it covered. And I'm like, oh, so you've called some bakeries or whatever? She's like, I got it covered. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. But then I started to see telltale signs. Like there was a recipe on the desktop for peanut butter and jelly cake. And I'm like, oh, is she going to make a cake? Maybe. And then I saw a peanut butter fudge cake recipe. And I'm like, I don't see any jelly in there. Perhaps jelly will substitute for fudge. And then I saw like cake mix. Like she bought cake mix. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. And then I was leaving one day and there was Reese's peanut butter chips. Like you can buy them like chocolate chips. And I grabbed them and I go, oh, you know what? I'm just going to eat these like candy because that's what I do. I'm an animal. And she goes, oh, no, don't do that. And I go, what's up? She goes, I need those for a project. I said, oh, okay, well, we'll see. I'll put them up there. So I put them on the thing. So then last night was the night, the 28th, the night before my birthday. See, it's not my birthday as you listen to this. It's my birthday as I record it. So it's an actual show record on my birthday. And I think we all know that usually I've decided, hey, it's my birthday. I don't have to do that. But then I was afraid that my mom would replace me with a host and I would never get to do the show again. So my mom would somehow find a way to get somebody else in here to host the show, and then you guys would like him better, and then I would be kicked off. And then literally I would have Throat Punch Media for no reason. I would have nothing to protect. There would be no shell game. There would be no reason to have me hiding behind that corporate facade because I would have nothing to sell or give. So instead I decided, you know what, go ahead and do a show on your birthday. So that's the move. So I left my house last night, which was the 28th. I went out, and it was like 10 o'clock, and still no cake in my house, I can tell you that. And my wife's like, all right, so, I love you. I'll talk to you later. And I said, okay. So I went and I got my computer out of my bag last night, and there was a card, like, jammed into my computer. And it said, do not open till midnight. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then at midnight, I opened the card, and it was nice. It was I think the advent of the talking greeting card is great. I'm a fan of the talking, singing greeting card. And mine, this one made monkey noises when I opened it up. It had a monkey on the front, and then you open it up, and it had two monkeys in a tree. Aw, and they're in love, and it was my wife. And so it made like a monkey noise. And I was going to, you know what, actually, I might have it. It's funny. Now that I think about it, I could actually play that. Hold on, let's see. What's this? Happy birthday? I don't know if you can hear that. That's if you open it. It says happy birthday, and then it says, to the one I'll always be wild about. Oh, and it's got a couple of monkeys making out in a tree. And, yeah, that's nice. So, all right, so there's the monkey noises. So I open that, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And then part of me is like, oh, where's my cake? Because I'm a selfish prick, folks. So I called her, and I thanked her for the card. And she's like, oh, happy birthday, yay. And I said, yay. And she's like, because she wants to get me stuff for my birthday. And we're in a position where buying gifts probably not smart. Because, again, like I told you, we buy everything we want anyway. So the way I look at it, my iPhone was my birthday present. That was where my cash went. So I've got my iPhone. That's fine. That's all squared away. She's like, okay, no problem. I'll see you in the morning. So then I came home this morning at like 6. And I woke her up. She had to go to work. And she walks out and she goes, happy birthday. And she had a cake. She had made the cake for me. And it was on like a thing. It was all covered in saran wrap. And she was holding it. And it had initials on the top. And I went, oh, no. And she went, what? And I go, Oh, SW. What does that stand for? She goes, what? And she looked. Oh, upside down. Spun it around. Oh, MS. That's me. And I knew it. I was just doing it to be a jagoff. But I was like, oh, SW. And then she spun it around. And I go, oh, that's me. That's my cake. And she goes, yes. So I said, well, let's have a piece of cake at 6 in the morning. Why not? That's what grown people do if they're animals. And she's like, do you really want to do that? I said, well, where's the jelly? And she goes, the jelly's in the middle. Like she made peanut butter cake, and she's got jelly in the middle of it. So I'm excited to have that because we didn't have it this morning. She was like, she convinced me not to have it, so I'll have it tonight. So I'll have birthday cake this evening. It's peanut butter jelly cake. And I don't know if it's going to... Folks, I'll be honest. Because I'm a dick. It's really awesome, and it's great, and I got a card at midnight and a cake, and that's fine. I still wish she would have called a bakery. I don't know why I'm a dick about it. I still wish, at least call, and she... Because she told me, she said that she called a couple of bakeries and then that they didn't make that kind of cake. And I'm like, you could have made another phone call or two. But who cares? I'm sure the cake will be... It was great that she made me a cake. It's fantastic. I'm never happy. That's the message here, folks. I am never happy. But I'm sure the cake is going to be fantastic. So I'm really, I'm looking forward to it. So there you go. But I will tell you, folks, this. July 29th, that's today, July 29th of 2009. I am 42 years old, okay? I was a fat guy. I'm still a fat guy. I've been a fat guy forever. But I had gastric bypass surgery on July 1st of 2005. And I will say from July 2005 to July of 2007, things were great. Like, I was doing the right thing. I was losing weight. I was lifting. I was doing martial arts, all this stuff. And then things happened. And I've taken the last year and a half off. Maybe 2 years. I don't know. Suffice it to say, folks, what I'm going to tell you is that, that birthday cake is, that's going to be it. I have decided, I'm a guy who likes deadlines, as I've told you. I can't just start something and go, hey, let's do it. Because if it's Thursday, I got to wait till Monday. Monday is the beginning of the week. That's when you start. So that gives me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to fuck around until Monday gets here. But now that's it. Fuck it. I decided, I was like, well, start on your birthday, but my birthday's on a Wednesday, and I have a cake. I can't call it quits now with a whole cake sitting there to be eaten. So suffice it to say, until the cake is gone, I have to live a life of debauchery. I mean, it's going to be horrible, but that's fine until the cake is gone. But then when the cake is gone, and I guess the reason I'm telling you this is because I'm counting on you folks to keep me in line. No, I'm not. That would be fucking bizarre. How weird would that be? Folks, I can't afford a trainer, so I'm making the world my trainer. I want you folks to look over my shoulder and go, hey, how's it going, buddy? What's happening? No, bullshit. That's sort of true, but not really true. But I am just, it's again, I had reached a point after, 2005, I wound up having surgery, and then I reached a point where I had kind of sloughed off and was fucking around and not doing the things I was supposed to do. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So that's when I signed up for a trainer and I started to lift and run and do all this stuff. And I lost a ton of weight and I got down to a certain amount and I looked fucking great, body fat low. It was really, really amazing time. And then I fucked up. I went back the other way, as the notorious Sadcast of last year will remind you. Well, this isn't a sad cast. This is a happy cast because things are changing and looking up. I have decided this is it. Everything changes now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, and I won't make this show part of this. All right, I'll tell you that. This show will still be this show. But I'm going to, because if I go to Facebook and I have to update Facebook, I have to update Twitter, I have to update MySpace. I post a thing at a special thing. I post all these different things to tell people that the episode is ready. And I've actually stopped using the blog on my website. The reason I stopped using it is because I became a Mac guy, and when I became a Mac guy and I started to put stuff in my blog, weird stuff started showing up, like weird question marks. Like I guess for some reason Safari or Macs don't play well with WordPress. I don't fucking know. I have no idea why, but that is why I stopped doing stuff on my website, because it drives me insane to have stuff that I can't fix and I can't do anything about. I see these question marks because it makes it look like I'm stupid. Okay, I hate the fact that I look stupid. Again, I have nothing to do with that. I didn't put a question mark there. It's just done indiscriminately by the fucking robot god who runs computers. But it makes me look like a fucking dipshit that I don't know how to take a goddamn question mark out of a fucking paragraph. That was a pretty, it made me look like a dipshit that I can take a goddamn question mark out of a fucking paragraph. That's a lot of swearing in that entire run. All right, so I've hated using it. I haven't updated it since December, quite frankly, because I update everywhere else. But I am going to make the blog on my website be an updated blog regarding this chase. Chase? I don't know if it's a chase. That's going to be why am I even announcing this? It's not even a big deal. It's just that's where I'm going to actually weigh in like every week. I'm going to report progress, what I ate, what I didn't eat. I'm doing it for me. You don't fucking have to go there, folks. I don't care if you have to go there. But it's like Rocky. Okay, here's the thing. Rocky, when he had to get into shape, he like ran on the beach and then he fucking ran around and chased a chicken. And then he had two turtles named Cuff and Link. I'm like Rocky, but I don't have turtles. I have a blog. That's it. I'm like Rocky with a blog. That's who I'm going to be from this point on, folks. Play the fucking music. Every time you read my goddamn blog, it's Rocky with a blog. It's me chasing a fucking chicken in print. That's what I am. So I'm going to be Rocky with a blog, fucking posting, lifting and weight and what I ate, and I'm going to weigh in, and I'm going to fucking, there's a million people who do it on the internet, but how many people do it in an entertaining, funny fashion? All right, I'll give you that, everybody. But still, how many people do it with copious swearing? Nobody. Nobody cares. So if you want to follow me over there, if you want to come and check on my progress, and again, this doesn't have to be like a rah-rah bullshit, we're all rooting for you, Mike, type of nonsense. You don't have to do that. Just, listen to this show and pay attention to the emails that I send out and everything else in Facebook. That's fine. But if you want to follow that, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to, I don't know, I guess, chide me or yell at me or fucking verbally heckle me or, typewritten heckle me in comments, that's fine. Because, I'm going to be fucking brutally honest. I try to be as honest as I can on this show. I'm going to be as brutally honest as I can in Rocky's blog. That's it. I'm Rocky with a blog. That's it. And instead of like running up the stairs, I will run up the stairs and then I will be winded and sit down and type about how it made me feel. That's what I will do. So I'm going to do that just because I think I'm a guy who needs discipline. I think we all know this. And quite frankly, I'm hoping that announcing this and telling you people about it is going to make me do it. Because then you people, if I don't do it, you'll let me hear about it, right? And I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if I'm inviting you folks to get on my ass is a good thing. But at the same time, neither is fucking killing yourself. So I can go ahead and use the help. So if you want to do it, great. And if you want to go ahead and comment on the blog, and again, I don't know, I haven't gone in to do, because I have to go and do like a weigh-in, like I got to figure out what a starting weight is, and then go from there. So I got to, and it'll all be, that'll be on my website. Who cares? If you want to go there and check it out, great. If you don't, please just listen to the show because I will not let it bleed into this fucking show. It might occasionally get mentioned, but I'm not going to make this show, The Biggest Loser where I'm sitting here with a tape measure crying. That's not going to fucking happen. Quite frankly, a lot of you think this show is The Biggest Loser anyway. Let's be honest with ourselves. But I can tell you that it's not. I will also tell you that this made me laugh this week. I saw that Kirstie Alley is doing like a weight loss show for E! I was like, dude, I got to get on that fucking show. If only to yell at Kirstie Alley for her bullshit Twitters that my wife has on her phone. Oh my Christ. Kirstie, put the goddamn... I can't imagine that she has so much time to Twitter when her fingers are greasy from eating chicken all day. Seriously, you got to be fucking kidding me that you've got time to type this. I guess she needs something to do while she's chewing. But... she Twitters like a fucking maniac. It's insane. So there you go. So that's it. I will be launching that this week. I got to go, like I said, I got to go and figure out what I'm going to do. I got to go weigh in. But not till the cake is gone, folks. None of this happens. None of this happens until the cake is gone. Quite frankly, I'll probably wait till August 1st. The announcement and the decision of this has all come on the 29th, which is my birthday, my 42nd birthday. But the execution of this will probably start on August 1st, and then we'll roll from there. Because I like bite-sized chunks. I like going, hey, what did I do this month? Hey, how did I, so I'll probably weigh in August 1st. And then we'll I might weigh in every week. I might just go like the month and not weigh in and then figure out the progress September 1st. I don't fucking know how I'm going to do it yet, folks. All I know is, because Rocky didn't know how he was going to do things. Rocky had no clue. Rocky's walking around, literally it's just going to be me in a fucking pork pie hat and a leather jacket with fingerless gloves just typing. Just typing fucking stuff. There you go. That's right. Cuff and Linker here. And me and Adrian went ahead and picked up some Twinkies. No, I didn't. Fuck. That's what it's going to be like. Me and Adrian against the world as I fucking chase a chicken in print. All right. So I announced this because, I want to involve people who want to be involved. And if you don't want to be involved, who cares? That's fine. Enjoy this show for what it is, and that'll be a sidelight. But it's fucking something I need to do. And you know what? This show's about my life, so I figured I would bring it up because what the hell? And, you guys all sat through the Sadcast last year. You know what the fuck we're talking about. All right, so... because have you figured out, by the way, that nothing's changed since the Sadcast? Sadly, nothing has changed since the Sadcast. But that's fine. Things will change now. I will start taking my multivitamins and calcium again. That'll happen because apparently I have brittle bones. All right, so that's all changing now. We're figuring it out. So, folks, get on board with Rocky with a blog.
Did you know the 4-year-old boy's wallet got stolen by a gorilla?
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and later, Ask the Lizard King. An Indian shaman asks former Doors frontman Jim Morrison questions submitted by everyday listeners.
Oh, great Lizard King. Annette from Nashville asks, should I take that consulting job in Portland? Yeah. Thank you, Lizard King.
All right.
Is everybody in? They are on Ask the Lizard King on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
All right.
Why did you fake laugh there? You don't have to.
I pointed at you and I said action, and the look
I know.
on your face just made me...
Because you're so ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it. That's why it's your job. You're the producer.
Not a fake fucking laugh.
All right.
Christ.
I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is I've just spent like the last 15 minutes talking about something, and I fucking regret it. I don't know why I put it out there. It's just a foolish move. Now I'm like, hey, I'd rock you with a blog. Like I can live up to that. Like I'm gonna run around punching meat all day. Sure, I can't wait to attempt to live up to that horseshit. And then to invite people to bring down the fucking thunder on me if I don't do it. What an asshat. I am stupid, folks. All right, I am a dumb man. I am not smart. That's what I meant by dumb in the previous sentence. All right. I repeat myself. I'm 42. I can do that. I'm old, man. I'm old. It's repeating. It's the show of repeating, but not. That was last week, but now. And it's funny because I listened to last week's show. I'm trying to remember what it was. I listened to last week's show and it was the show of repeating, and I was talking about how it was the show of repeating. And then at the end, I talked about the Whippets. And I said, this is the same story they've run every year since I was 13 years old. I should have mentioned that's in the show of repeating. They're repeating the same story from when I was there. Folks, I got to tell you, I am nothing if not a wordsmith. And the fact that I brought up, I listened to last week's show, and the fact that I was able to tell the booing story about karaoke after having talked about the boo guys in the beginning and having no idea they were going to tie together, God, I'm a fucking genius. I am great. All right, and now I've gone out and exposed myself to telling people that I'm going to go ahead and reveal my life on the blog, and they need to follow along and yell at me. I'm stupid. All right. But it's my birthday, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. Again, I'm 42 years old. I'm an old man. I have an old friend who wrote me, and he's like, well, I wish I could keep my age at 40 like you have and your 40-year-old boy. Like, he was busting my balls over the fact that and I wrote him and I go, dude, I talk on the show about how I'm not going to change the name of the fucking show every year. It just doesn't make any sense. But I'm full disclosure. Everybody knows how old I am. I don't lie about it. There's no point in lying. I've been a failure in this town for over 10 years. People know who the fuck I am. They're well aware of me and my age. It's not like I can just show up and go, hey, it's me, 35-year-old new guy. Nope, nobody cares. All right. It's my birthday. Have I mentioned that, folks? I don't know. I don't think I'm going out tonight. I don't know. Like I said, I got my iPhone. That's all I need, really. That's all I want. Except I'm always, here's how horrible. Karen will always like, what do you want for your birthday? And I always just, I want certain sex acts. That's what I ask for. I'll just be like, well, let's do this at this particular time, in this place. That's, and she'll be like, oh, okay. She'll be on board with it. That's cool. And usually she's not, because I'm not an animal. Like I said, I'm not like, hey, why don't I, fuck in the ass on the roof of a Ralph's? I'm not that guy. I'm pretty, I'm pretty straightforward about what's going to happen, and then she's like, okay, great, and because again, it saves money. Unless I got to pay some sort of fine for getting pinched in a public place, who knows? I don't know, but normally it saves money, and I'm happy with that. That's all I want. Again, I'm not 11. I don't need a pinata and a fucking pinwheel. Maybe what? Actually, I do. I need a pinata and a pinwheel. That's exactly what I want for my 42nd birthday. A pinata filled with Tylenol. All right, because I have such a headache. And apparently I've become an old Jewish man. I have such a headache. But this birthday it's gonna be great. Whatever happens, I'm sure. I've had good birthdays and bad birthdays. I had oh Christ. All right, I'll tell you this story. I was in when I was in Lake Tahoe. Folks, I was sowing my wild oats when I was in Lake Tahoe. Did a lot of things. I lived in an apartment with like 6 different dudes for a while, and we, there was drinking going on, and I didn't really drink, but I've been drunk a few times, and a few of those were in Tahoe. So here's what happened one night. It was my birthday, and I went out that night, and the girl that I was banging at the time happened to be home with her husband. So there was, I unfortunately, I was not going to have her with me. So I was like, hey, let's go to the bar and look for some other female companionship. So I wound up, I was working at the time at a health club. And this was after, when I was in Tahoe, I lived with, for a while I lived in a woman's house. This is after the guy who tried to kill himself. And then I wound up moving in with friends. And then there were 4 of us sharing a 2-bedroom apartment. And then that grew to 6. And then eventually that thinned out. Everybody bailed, and it was just me and my buddy Ransom. So that's who it was. Me and Ransom lived in the apartment, and we had 2 people in a 2-bedroom house. How novel. But that's what we did. So this is at the time when I was, like I said, I worked in a health club during the day, and I was at the gym, and so whatever, I went and I got ready to go out. We were going to go out for my birthday. So that night, I think it was my 22nd birthday. Was it 89? Yeah, it was 22nd. Yeah, I believe so, because then I moved in late 89. So it was my 22nd birthday, and we went out to the clubs, and we were looking for ladies, and we were dancing, and we were having a good time. Because, folks, I can move. Again, I think I may have told you that. And you'll learn all about that in the blog in the coming weeks as I go out dancing. What if I did? That was my exercise? I went dancing. I'm an idiot. It was funny. Oh, what's funny? Karen was dancing in the house the other day, and she was not moving. She was just dancing in one spot. And I was like, what are you doing? She goes, I've invented a dance box. I said, what do you mean? She goes, you just dance. It's like you dance. It's a designated box where you dance, like a dance spot where you don't move. You just stand there and dance. I said, that goes against everything dance stands for. Dance is free expression. Dance is all over the place. I said, you know what? Kevin Bacon would be very angry with you right now. Because dance is all about leaping into a barn and jumping into a haystack and doing a flip. That's what dancing is. That ain't dancing. This is dancing. But she's like got her dance box, so she's not moving. That's it. She's in her little, and she's not. I said, all right, if that's what you want to do, but that quashes all free expression. I thought dancing was all about fucking Alvin Ailey and fucking being all over the place, and Martha Graham and doing leaps and twirls and a jump and a spin and a knickerbocker twist and a smile, as David Lee Roth would say. And but unfortunately, she's got a dance box. So apparently, folks, you need to dance in a spot. You have to have let's all get a dance box, and that you can bring it with you wherever you go. Wherever you want to go, have a dance box and just dance in that dance box. And everybody says what you're doing. You're just like, I'm in the dance box. That's a good idea. You know what? Yeah, I'm on board now with the dance box. It sort of quashes individualism. It quashes individual expression, but I think it encourages expression. No, it doesn't encourage expression, really. Is that what I want to say? No, it how did I even get to talking about this? Because it made me laugh that she had a dance box. Like I was like, dancing is all about dancing all over the fucking place. It's all about holding out for a hero and you and teaching Chris Penn, the hillbilly, how to dance. That's what it's about. But she apparently feels that it's okay if you dance in one spot. So there you go. So bring your dance box wherever you go. I guess that's what I'm saying. To combat, because it does quash individual expression, the dance box, but if you bring your dance box anywhere you want to go and you put it down and then you dance in that dance box, then you are still individually expressing yourself just in a smaller area. So I guess, all right, to sum up, if you want to go dancing, dance all over the place. But if you want to dance anywhere in the world that doesn't have dancing, bring your dance box. So when you go dancing, do not restrict yourself to a dance box, but always bring your dance box with you so you can dance like at a gas station. Okay, there you go. I've solved the riddle of the dance box. So that way you can still express yourself, but in a small area. Maybe that's what she meant all along. Maybe she meant that you shouldn't, because she had a dance box at the house, it meant not to jump all over the house. Fuck, how did I get caught in this loop? How did I get caught in the dance box loop? What the hell was I talking about?
Going out dancing to exercise.
Dancing in Tahoe. All right, so we went out dancing. It's my birthday, and again, folks, I have game, or at least I did when I was 22. So I'm dancing with some ladies, but I'm trying to do everything I can to get them to possibly come back to my apartment. I'm doing everything, or I'll go to their place, or we'll go to a parking lot. Who cares? I don't care at this point. All I know is I'm a walking hard on. I'm 22 years old, so I'm looking around, and suffice to say, I will tell you too. There was a girl that I was crushing on at the time when I lived in Tahoe. There was a girl that I always had a thing for, and never, unfortunately, got to the finish line with. She was great. She was a great friend. It was one of those deals where I saw her all, like I'd see her all day, I'd see her all night. We hung out all the time. But unfortunately, she was married, but was, I couldn't penetrate that wall. Let's put it that way. But I got to be friends with her and her kids, and we got to be really, really good friends. And then I ruined her marriage eventually, but not in the way I wanted to. So let's put it that way. So I was really heavily into her, and she came out with us, and I, as usual, what it was me following her around like a puppy dog and trying to get her to to jump the fence with me and go and do some damage, and then it wasn't happening. So that was fine. So I then decided, you know what, I'm 22, and there's a girl that I would love to be with, and I can't, so I'm just gonna drink. So I went ahead and drank. And I drank a ton, and I actually got drunk, shockingly. And let me tell you, when you're drunk, you do not stay in your dance box. I was all over the place. And there was a club called Turtles, and there was a club called Lily's. Unbelievably, there was a dance place, Lily's Saloon, and we would go there and dance. And then I was drunk, and then inevitably, when we would come home, we would hit 7-Eleven for chocolate milk and pecan twists and microwave burritos. And that's why I'm a huge fat guy now. So, but at the time, I was dancing all the time, lifting, and I looked pretty good. So instead, I was drunk, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. So I got home, and Ransom dropped me off. He was nice enough because I didn't have a car at the time. I was always with him, and he went back out. So I was drunk, and I was in my house. It was my birthday, and I had no lady with me, and I was sad, and I was pining hard for this other woman. And so I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call a phone sex line. It's my birthday, and I don't care. It's my present to myself, and I'm drunk. I'm going to call phone sex, and I'm going to see what I'm going to do that. So I get and I don't know what to do. All right, so I'm drunk in my house, and it's that weird kind of, because I will tell you this. I didn't have a phone in my room. So I have to make the phone sex call from the living room.
Oh my God.
And so in my head I'm like, all right, well, am I gonna do I have to jerk off? If I jerk off out here, I gotta lock the door to make sure Ransom doesn't walk in on me. That would be fucking horrendous. That's the last thing I need. But again, I'm loaded, so I'm kind of got this weird thought process where I'm like, all right, I gotta call the phone sex, but I don't want to do it out here, but I gotta do it out here. But I'm all excited. So I lock the door. And again, it's my birthday, folks. I can do whatever I want. I can call a phone sex line if I want to. So I got to get prepared. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I take my pants off, but I don't take them all the way off because in my head I'm thinking, what if Ransom comes in? I got to have him still on. So I basically drop my pants to my ankles. Okay. I'm getting ready. I don't even know what it's about, but I figure I'm going to jerk off, right? That's what you do with a phone sex line. So I'm ready. It's a birthday jerk off, and I'm going to go with it. So I grabbed the phone, and I'm the only phone sex line. Again, at the time, the only phone sex line I know of is at the time they're 900 numbers, okay, and it was 1-900 fuck was the only line that I could remember because we used to joke about it all the time. So I grabbed the phone, and I'm sitting there. I got my pants around my ankles, and I'm on our leather couch, which I got to tell you, that's fantastic, folks. If you're bare ass on a leather couch, there is nothing more comfortable. But the good news is, if I go off, if the phone sex achieves what it's supposed to achieve, it's an easy cleanup on the leather couch. Not that I realize that. Again, I'm fucking loaded. I have no idea what's happening. I don't even know what to do. So I'm holding the phone, and then I lay down on the leather couch, like with my pants at my ankles. I'm like laying down with the phone, and so I go to dial, and it's. I should tell you, by the way, I have every light in my house off. Every light in my house is completely off because I don't want. Again, if ransom comes in, I at least got to have the cover of night to hide the fact that I'm fucking jerking off in the living room. So I've got everything off, and I'm ready, and I got my pants down on ankles. So I go to dial, and I dial 1-900-FUCK. And it rings, and I'm standing there. And so then I don't know if I'm supposed to start jerking off now because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So, and also I should tell you, again, I'm loaded. I'm dialing this number. I have no idea what it costs. I don't even think about it. I'm just like, it's my birthday. It's my present to myself. I'm bummed because the girl that I want, I can't have. And the girl that I'm banging, I can't have because she's home with her fucking husband. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just diving headlong into this phone sex. I've thought about it long enough. We've joked about it long enough. So the phone rings, and I'm sitting there, and I go, you know what? I need to start up. So I just start up. And they answer the phone, and hello? It's a man. A man answers the phone. And I go, hello? And he goes, hey, what's happening? Or no, what's going on? He says, hey, what's going on? And I got to tell you, I got my cock in one hand and the phone in the other, and I'm talking to a guy. And I go, nothing. What's going on with you? And he goes, nothing. I'm just sitting here. And then I go, who is this? And he says, this is Sky. And it dawns on me that the woman that I have the big crush on, that I'm friends with her family and her kids, her oldest son is Sky. In the fucking middle of the night, drunk, to call phone sex line, I drunk dial her house. At 2 a.m, as I'm laying on the couch, I got my cock in one hand, I got the phone in the other, and I get her fucking 15-year-old son on the phone. And he says, this is Sky. And I go, oh, Sky. Oh, dude, it's Mike. And he goes, hi, Mike. And I go, man, I can't believe I called. And I'm like covering up, like I throw a pillow over my cock. Like he can't even see me, but I think that he can. Like, but now I'm talking to a 15-year-old boy and I'm half naked with my dick in my hand. I'm like, come on, seriously? Not only that, he's the son of the woman that I have this huge crush on. And I'm fucking drunk, and I'm just like, oh, Sky, oh, it's Mike, man. And he goes, hi, Mike. And I go, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you. And he goes, do you want me to suck your cock? And I'm like, what did you say? And he goes, do you want me to suck your cock, Mike? And I go, oh my God, no, Sky, what are you saying? Don't say that. And he goes, no, I'm serious. He goes, I'll suck your cock, and then you can. And he says, and I'll spare you, but the filthiest, fucking, just the most, horrible things that you could ever imagine. He just starts saying it, and I go, oh, no, Sky, what are you saying these things? Like I'm drunk. I should just hang up the phone. But now drunk me, with half a heart on his hand, all of a sudden this guy, he's got the 15-year-old son of the woman that he is crushing on, starts coming on to him on the phone in the middle of the night, and I lose my mind. I just like, what? No, Sky, no, don't say it. I almost cry. Like I'm like so sad. I can't believe it's come to this. I can't believe I called him and bothered him. But then he drops this. And he is just talking a filthy blue streak. He doesn't stop. And I'm just going, no, stop, no, Sky, don't talk. Sky, is your mom there? Come on, don't do this. Is your mom there? And he won't stop talking. He's fucking filthy. And again, so I literally. Like I roll and I fall off the couch, because I'm so Like I'm freaking, it's like so creepy and it's got me so weirded out. Like and I don't know what to do. And so I reach over and I just slam the phone down. Like I slam the phone and then I'm laying on the ground, half naked, like fucking ass in the air on my hands and knees and like slam the phone out and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, that was just awful. I mean, like it was awful. I don't know why did he say that? It was terrible. So I stagger, I get up, and stupid me, I get up and I try to walk into my room. My pants are on my ankles. I stagger and fall. And I'm drunk. So instead of pulling my pants up, I'm staggering half naked to the room, and just still bewildered. I can't believe what happened. And then I just go into the room and I just fucking pass out. I go to sleep. I don't even get undressed. Like pants are on my ankles. Fucking just fall asleep in the bed. So the next day, I get up, and I'm freaked out because I remember what happened, and I'm supposed to have lunch with this woman the next day, and I don't have any idea what I'm gonna say or do, and she's picking me up at 2. So I get up, and I get a shower, and I'm just sitting there. I'm freaked out. I can't believe it. And Ransom comes home. He comes out. He's like, "Hey, what happened to you last night?" I go, "Oh, dude, don't even ask what happened to me last night." He goes, "Well, I dropped you off, and then you were here." He goes, "You kept saying you had to make a phone call," and I'm like, "Yeah, I kept saying I had to make a phone call." He goes, "Well, did you make your phone?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, yeah, you did because the phone was off the hook." He goes, "I don't know what you did, but the phone was completely off the hook, and he goes, the couch cushions were off," and I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of I was drunk." He's like, "Yeah, okay," because again, it was that thing where it was that you could get away with anything because you just go, "Yeah, I was drunk," and everybody just go, "Yeah, okay." So I guess in my haste, I had slammed the phone down, but not on the phone. I had just slammed it on the table, like that was hanging it up. And you know what? Wham! I'm done with you. So, and then I had staggered off and destroyed the couch and then went to bed. And didn't even get to jerk off, by the way. I should mention that. Happy birthday to me. I didn't even get to fucking run off a batch. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't. I'm sure I would have gotten whiskey dick anyway at 22, but still, after what had happened, I might not even get it up for the rest of the year. Seriously, I don't know if I'm gonna have a hard on for at least. I'm gonna say at least until 1990 at that point, because that's July of '89. So and Jesus, I mean that's 20 years ago, right? Oh my God, am I old? All right, this happened 20 years ago. Good Christ, and. So I was like, all right. So I staggered to bed, went to sleep, didn't even jerk off, nothing. Happy birthday. So and then Katie's coming to pick me up for lunch, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna face this chick. I don't know. I mean, after what her son said to me the night before, I don't even. He never even look. I've seen him a lot. He never even hinted that he liked me that much. I mean, it was sure we got along in a hey, what's happening? Is your mom home type of way, but. I never knew he had those sort of feelings for me. It seemed really odd and crazy. And I don't know if he just decided on my birthday he was going to let it all go at 1 a.m. I don't fucking know. So, but that's fine. So I'm like, all right. I don't have any idea what I'm going to say to her. So she pulls up, and I go outside, and I don't know what to say because it's. I also come from a background of my mom trapping me. Like my mom knowing I ditched school and going, "Hey, how was school today?" And I go, "Oh, school was fine." Wham! Hit in the face with the spatula. I was at that goddamn school today. Well, this time I'm waiting for Katie to go. Hey, what's happening? And I'll go nothing, and she'll go. So, do you want to go by and see the kids? I'm waiting for that to come out because that's going to be horrible because I don't know what to say. So I don't say anything. That's what I decide to do. I just, as I've said many times, I lay under the coats and hope everything goes away. So I get in the car and she's like, let's, she wants to go have lunch. And I live I live on the California side of Lake Tahoe. She lives on the Nevada side. So I was like, well, where are we going for lunch? She's like, well, you know what? Actually, I have to go back to the house first and then we can go out for lunch. And I'm like, oh, I go, well, why don't you just go home and then pick me up, come back and get me? She's like, don't be stupid. We're here now. We'll go to my house and then we'll eat on the Nevada side. And I'm like, I don't, nah. I don't think I want to. She goes, well, and I go, look, it's can't we just call it like my second birthday lunch and I get to pick? So, and she's like, no, you can't. She goes, I'm going to go home and then we'll go. She goes, I'm not going to double back. It's stupid. So just come with me. So we got to drive across town. And the whole time in the Jeep, I'm just sitting there going, what the hell am I going to say to Sky when I see him? Even worse, what's Sky going to say to me when he sees me? I mean, I already know what the kid is capable of. I don't think I want to go ahead and have this dropped in my lap again. It's gonna be creepy. Like we're gonna go in the house, he's not gonna say anything, and then like she's gonna go in the other room and he's just gonna kind of like wink at me or something. Oh God! And again, he's 15. Like this is all breaking horribly bad. And I'm secretly in love with his mom. It's just awful. I can't even explain how horrible this is. So it's the worst ride, and I'm nauseous because again I'm sort of hungover anyway, and now I'm in the Jeep. Just I'm sick. I can't go to her house. So I keep going, well, you know what? Can you drop me off at Caesars? I got to make a bet on some baseball, and then you can pick me up. She's like, what is wrong with you? We'll go to my house, and that'll be fine. I just got to pick something up. So we get to her house, and she's like, come on in, because I got to make a phone call, too. And I go, I'll wait in the car. And she's like, come on in. So I go in the house, and I walk in, and two of her two youngest are in the living room. And I see them. And they're like, hey, Mike. And I go, hey, is Sky around? And they go, yeah, he's upstairs. We'll get him. And they just start running up the stairs. I'm like, no, don't get him. I don't need to talk to him ever again. But it's just like little kids, like, yeah, we'll get him. They just run away. I'm like, oh, no. So I'm sitting there, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm fucking freaking out. I have no interest in talking to him, seeing him. I don't even want to be in the house. If I didn't love his mom so much, I would have canceled lunch and never seen her again. It was so freaking weird. So they come running downstairs, and Sky comes down, and I look at him, and I can barely look at him. And he just goes, hey, Mike, what's up? And I go, nothing. What's up with you? He goes, nothing. He goes, I heard you got drunk last night. And I go, yeah. Who told you that? And he goes, my mom. I guess, because I'm thinking he heard it on the phone. You know what I mean? I have no idea. And I go, who told you that? He goes, my mom. And I go, oh, did I sound drunk? And I don't even know why I said it. It's like now I know that he, in case it was ever going to just hang there, now I've revealed that I talked to him. He goes, what do you mean did you sound drunk? And I go, well, did I sound drunk on the phone? And now it's out there. I didn't want to have it out there, but I just said it. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. And now now I figure, you know what? Confront it head on. Just fucking confront it head on. And I said, did I sound drunk on the phone? He goes, when did you talk to me on the phone? I said, I talked to you last night on the phone, Sky. He goes, and he starts laughing. And I go, what? And he goes, I didn't talk to you last night on the phone. I go, Sky, I talked to you last night on the phone. You don't remember talking to me on the phone? In the middle of the night? And he goes, man, you must have been really drunk. And I go, dude, I talked to you last night. I called here in the middle of the night, and and he goes, why would you call here in the middle of the night? And I go, well, I accidentally misdialed. I was going to call somebody else, and I think I accidentally called your house, but I talked to you. He goes, dude, no, I wasn't even home last night. He has a friend, and he goes, I was sleeping over at my friend's house. And I went, oh, you're sure I didn't call you last night? He goes, yeah, I'm positive. I wasn't even here. And I went, oh, okay. So I guess I didn't talk to him. It was the weirdest. So I had no idea what the hell was going on. So I went, all right. So Katie came downstairs, and I said to her, I was like, well, let's go to lunch. And we talked about what had happened the previous night. And I go, let me ask you something. I go, what time did you get home last night? She goes, oh, I get home around 2:30. I said, was Sky here? She goes, no, he stayed over at his friend's house. I go, so he wasn't home last night? She said, no, why? She goes, did you come over here? I go, well, no, I left you at the bar. Ransom brought me home, and then I went home, and I called here in the middle of the night. She goes, well, you didn't talk to Sky if you called here. Now, the only other person that I could think of was her husband.
Oh, my God.
But I don't think her husband would pose as her 15-year-old son and then say he wanted to blow me. It's the weirdest. So now I'm completely fucking confused. Now I'm thinking I'm drunk and I made the whole thing up in my brain. Like, I have no idea what happened, except for I know that I destroyed the couch. I, took all the couch cushions off, and I hung the phone up on the coffee table. I have no idea what happened. So I go, all right, so we go to lunch, and I forget about it. I don't even think about it. That's fine. So happy birthday. I made some weird, I had some weird hallucinatory dream on the phone. And I wound up talking to a guy who wanted to have sex with me. It was I don't even know how you make that up. How drunk do you have to be that you make up a sex phone call with a guy? Like, it was weird. And then it's like, I'm sure it's all sorts of Freudian bullshit. I don't even want to think about what it meant. So I'm just like freaked out. I'm like, all right. So, days go by. I live my life and everything's fine. It's fun. I even joke about it to Ransom. I go, dude, I must have been loaded the night of my birthday. And he's like, no kidding. And I said, I thought I wound up calling someone, and it turns out I didn't even call him. But I don't tell him what it was, by the way. I got to tell you, I don't tell Ransom, hey, by the way, I called a guy, and I want him fucking him. I mean, it's like because it's bad enough what I know what happened in my brain. It was so bad, like I blush now even like thinking about it. Like, it was so, just brutal. So that's fine. So, it's a mystery. I go, I don't even know what the fuck's going to happen. Couple weeks go by, and I come home from work one night, and Ransom's there, and he goes, dude, I got to talk to you. I go, what's up? And he goes, well, we got to do the bills and all that, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, because I got to pay the bills. And it's funny, it's at this time that I'm planning to move down to Los Angeles. I've actually been sending money to my brother and all sorts of stuff. So it's time, and he goes, all right, we got to divvy up the bills. And he goes, did you see the phone bill? I said, no, I didn't see it. He goes, you might want to take a look at it. So he gives me the phone bill. And the phone bill is like $340. Now, our bill's normally like $100, give or take. It's $345. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Who did you call that the bill's this high? He goes, I didn't call anybody. Who did you call that the bill's this high? I said, what do you mean? He goes, it had to be you, dude. It wasn't me. So he gives me the phone. He goes, look at this. He goes, and the phone bill looks normal. It looks normal. We go down. There's a charge on the phone for a 900 number. In the wee hours of July 30th. It was a 48-minute phone call at $3.99 a minute for a total of $191.52. Apparently, when I hung the phone up on the coffee table, didn't disconnect the call at all. And Sky kept the phone meter running and charged me. Now, I owe $191 for this phone call, and I look at him and I go, what? I said, I didn't make that call. He goes, you must have made that call. You told me you made a phone call in the middle of the night. And then the phone was on the coffee table. It had to be you. I said, yeah, but I said, all right, I tried to call a phone sex line, and I did not get a phone sex line. I got a guy saying hello. Like, it wasn't like, ta-da, you've called a phone sex line. It was a man who answered and said hello. I go, and I didn't call, I called, 1-900 whatever fuck. And I thought that was girls. On the commercial, it's girls. And he looks at the number and he goes, well, that's not 1-900 fuck. And he gets the phone and we look at it. And it was the F and the C and the K. But also, when you look at your phone on the 3, it doesn't just have an E and an F. There's a D. And I didn't dial a U. I was drunk in the dark. I hit an I. I called 1-900 Dick. and it cost me $192. And that was the guy on the phone, and his name was Sky. So for a fucking month, I thought the 15-year-old son, who has a name, believe me, who in the world is named Sky? Nobody. That's why I mean, it's the fucking weirdest coincidence of all time. I mean, Katie's son is named Sky. Nobody's named Sky. Nobody. But in the middle of the night, in the dark, drunk with my pants around my ankles, I went to call 1-900-FUCK. I dialed 1-900-DICK. And I got a guy who shares a name with the oldest son of the woman that I want to bang in this town. And I freak out. I put the phone down and let the meter run, and it costs me $192 fucking dollars. So I don't care what happens tonight. It's not going to be the worst birthday, or certainly not the most expensive birthday I've ever had. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at MySpace.com/MikeSchmidtComedy. You guys can find me at Facebook.com/The40-Year-Old Boy. You can find Lily at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. And you can also get her at Burlesque411.com. That's Lili, Lily, at Burlesque411.com. As those ominous notes of Sneaky Christ tell you, it's time for me, Mike Schmidt, to tell you that you need to purchase a Year One download set. That's right, it's available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go ahead and get to the store and go ahead and download all of the magic of Year One. As a matter of fact, Lily has earbuds in during the recording of Year Two, listening to Year One, because she remembers when this show was great. Also, you guys might want to buy Skull Pie t-shirts, also available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go to the store, get a Year One download set, get a Skull Pie t-shirt, take them to the beach, enjoy yourself for the summer. Why not? You know what, you might even see me and Lily there, because we do that. We have Geiger counters and headsets. We're all hoping to unearth some change so we can go ahead and stop doing this show. But please, unearth your own change. Send it to me so you can buy a Skull Pie t-shirt, and you can also buy a Year One download set. That's right, 52 episodes, $25, one brutally funny podcast. Also want to remind you folks that every Monday night is the Monday Night Tease on Santa Monica and Vine at the 3 clubs. Go ahead and check it out. It'll be, we got any theme shows coming up? No, yes?
The circus on the 24th.
On August 24th? August 24th, there's a circus-themed show. I can only imagine how many people will be swallowing swords that night. So go ahead and check it out. I can tell you that the Tarantino shows were fantastic. And always a hit, and always a ton of people were there, and everything was great, and they went very well. Can people see the pictures of those online?
BurlesqueFilmFestival.com.
If you go to BurlesqueFilmFestival.com, you can find pictures from the Tarantino Fest, and you'll see Vixen Violetta's Gogo Yubari. You'll see our friend Lily Von Stupp in her dressed as one of the Reservoir Dogs. Everybody's on there, so go ahead and check it out. I think my leg might be on there. I'm not sure, but go ahead and check out the pictures. Huh?
Being humped.
Yeah, my leg is on there, and it's in distress. So go, please check it out. And also don't forget that as soon as the cake is gone, I can't give you an exact date. As soon as the cake is gone, I will don the fingerless gloves and Rocky it up on the blog. I'll start punching some meat and chasing a chicken and doing whatever I got to do. And if you guys want to follow along with that, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. I totally understand. I mean, believe me, I got no interest in following along with it, but it's what has to be done to stay alive. Okay. And now I'm off to go and I will tell you this. I'm on the case. I mentioned earlier about CSI and all this. I don't know if you folks have read the new Rolling Stone, but apparently Michael Jackson's nose is missing. Yes, they said he was on. They wrote that apparently he was on the coroner's table and he had a prosthetic nose, which we all sort of knew, but I guess we didn't have actual confirmation of facts. But they said his nose had disappeared. Somehow his nose, his body didn't have it, and now nobody knows where it is. And I like to think that it just escaped. I like to think that it's like, you know what? His nose right now is it's just like crawling through the streets of Los Angeles, trying to get to a Greyhound bus, hoping to get back to Gary, Indiana, to its roots. That's what it wants to do. His nose is just looking to, well, I guess that's not really its roots, unless maybe he went to Gary just to get the nose. I have no idea where he got it, but I can tell you, I just picture his nose right now, it's in a cross-country adventure like Milo and Otis. It's like a Disney movie. Like, Michael Jackson's nose has befriended a cat, and the two of them are going to try to cross across the country and meet up with their family so they can go ahead and live happily ever after. That's what I picture. Because that nose, it's a prosthetic. Sure, we all love Michael, and he's the king of pop, and unfortunately he's going to be buried in a mausoleum or a crypt to be determined. Eventually, at some point, when they realize there's not another dollar they can wring out of his dried-out husk of a body. But as it is, his nose took off, and it has befriended a nice golden retriever, and the two of them have set out to go ahead and see America. Right now, his nose, Michael Jackson's nose, has a stick with a knapsack, and it's jumping on a train with hobos. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a decent guy because I am a jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Man, I'm an awful guy. I'm not an awful guy. I am not a good guy. But I don't think I'm a bad person overall. So, and go ahead and by all means judge that. I'm kind of a jagoff. I got no future. What am I talking about? But I am a jagoff. And I'm not a jerk. I'm a nice guy. It's just I guess I have jerky tendencies. I've done so much ridiculous stuff, and then I wonder afterwards, I'm like, man, how come I don't hang out with anybody? Here's why, because you're a dick. You're fit. 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 You're fit.